What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts. Today is the FOMC meeting. I wanted to get a video out. I'm trying to get it out before the meeting. Hopefully it gets out before the meeting. If not, either way, video is still valid. So before we begin, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think of the video. Make sure you share the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let's get into it. So right here's the schedule of the FOMC meetings, and I went through last year's and just put an arrow. Now this is the Dow Jones. First we'll go over this, then we'll go over DXY, then Bitcoin, of course. So taking a look at where we're at now, Bitcoin's still hovering around 23, but here was FOMC meeting. Now everybody thinks there's a huge move. Usually there's only a huge move if it's not what's expected. Today they're expecting 25. I do think there is a possibility we could see a 50 basis points hike. We'll see what happens. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if it does, it's probably going to lead to a big downside move. If it stays the same, we'll probably just get some, fluctuation, some spikes in the market, maybe some crazy wicks. But other than that, not every time there is a rate hike meeting, there's a huge move, right? It gets volatile, but it usually doesn't go very far, right? You just get wicks. But here's one right here. This was way back here in January of last year. It was this daily candle here, right? And then our next one was right here. We did have some, obviously it rose up after that, but see the volatility. But in all reality, it doesn't move the markets permanently that much. It's just a day of volatility usually. See here, another one over here, right here, and right here. So not a whole lot of volatility in last year's, but if we get an unexpected hike, it's going to be crazy. And a lot of people are talking about, if the Fed keeps loosening the rates and lowering the rates, then the market's going to pump. Well, in reality, if you look back in the past, when the Fed actually pivots is when the markets actually dump. So it's something to keep in mind, right? Looking at the DXY, we are back below the 0.5 fib. I showed you guys this is a huge area of support. If we can break back above this 0.5 fib and maintain above, then I think we go much higher. Now, a lot of people are talking about a possible head and shoulders here. It's a possibility, but I think this is just a pullback for one big rip to the upside, just like we had over back here. Rip to the upside, back here, rip to the upside, back here, rip to the upside. I think we're getting ready for a huge rip to the upside in the DXY, so be cautious on that, guys. This is our monthly chart. We did close our monthly at a higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price action. I talked about this Monday. Right here, 23,327 would have been even. If we'd have broke that, that would have invalidated this higher high in the RSI, which would have invalidated the hidden bearish divergence, but we did get hidden bearish divergence. Now, here's the thing. If we can't break back below this 22.7, then this could be a bullish month and get all the way back up to this 25.8, 25.6 range that we've been talking about. That we'll look at that in the weekly, but a break below this 27 or 22,705 for the monthly, and we are going to remain extremely, extremely bearish, right? Look at the hidden bearish divergence there, lower highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI. Now let's look at the weekly. Same thing. You can see the same thing in the weekly, right? If we go off of this high here and this high here. Now, a lot of people say that we've made a higher high. We have not made a higher high, and I'll explain why. So we take our first low here, right? And then we made a high. We didn't break that high. We made another low. So after the low, that's the high you look at, right? We made a low. This was our next high. And we made a new low, next high, each time never breaking. So we made a new low here. So that validates this high, right? We have not broke that high. And we made hidden bearish divergence on the weekly, right? We go off this wick, see the yellow line, higher high in the RSI, lower high in the price action. That is hidden bearish divergence. Hidden divergence is a continuation of the trend. The trend is down. Now, here's the FOMC meetings on the Bitcoin chart, just to give you an idea. We are showing some hidden bullish divergence here. So that means we could get one more spike up, depending on what happens today, right? maybe get one more spike up just to make a lower low in the RSI, a higher high in the price action. That is a possibility to get up to that 25.8 range, which we'll take a look at on the weekly. But as you guys can see, I believe this is still a bull trap just like this. Even if we do get another little wick up, either way, this looks like it's rolling over here. But you can see back here, we made the same hidden bullish divergence here, but it did not play out. It rolled right back over and came down. And you can see what happened after. But just take a look at what happens in the FOMC meetings on Bitcoin, right? So I have them marked on here. You got a wick. This was a from 38.9 down to 36.2. So that was about a $2,000 move with just a huge, massive wick here getting rejected at the 50 EMA. We'll zoom in a little bit. You can see it right there. That was our January FOMC meeting. And then here was our March one. This also was this one was at 41.7 all the way down to 38.9. So about a $3,000 day right there, right? And then if we look at the next one would be right here. This was March. Is that the one I just went over? Yeah, 41.7. So our next one would have been right here in May. And this daily candle went from 40,000 all the way to 37.7, which is $2,300. That was a big candle, right? And then let's take a look at this one here. We had 28.8. These were all FOMC meeting days where Fed Powell talked. So 22.8 all the way to, so about a $2,000 candle. Our July one was from 23.1 all the way down to 21,000. So about a $2,000 candle, right? So then we have our September one, which was from about 19.9 all the way down to 18.2. So that was about a $1,000 candle, right? And let's take a look at our November one was 20,800 down to 20,007. So an $800 move. And then let's take a look at our December was from 18.4 to 17.7. So about a $500 move. Now we've just began this daily one. The Fed meeting is today. The top of this candle lies around 23.2. As of right now, the bottom is around 22.8. So about a $400 move. Our support on the daily is this white EMA right here, which is our 13 EMA. And that lies around 22.6. So break below 22.6 on the daily. That means obviously close below. Your next supports could be 21.8. And then you have the 200 EMA at 21.2. And then the 55 EMA all the way down to around 20,000. Guys, as you guys know, I still think we see a new lower low this year. I still am looking towards the middle or end of next year, sometime in September, October. We'll get into the 4-hour charts here in a minute, but before we do, let's take a look at my sponsor, Prime XBT. Definitely check them out if you haven't already. The cool thing about this is you can trade all markets. Like you can trade gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, Forex, all from one exchange. You can use my promo code SAVVY50. It'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. SAVVY25 will get you 25% off your fees. Links down below. I'll also leave a tutorial after the video. But there is a contest section if you guys want to learn to use the exchange and not have any risk. You can trade for free and you can actually win tradable funds. So if you win one of these contests like this one, you win $1,000 in USDT. You don't get to pull that $1,000 off, but you can trade it and actually keep whatever you win. So great way to learn to chart, to trade, and also have a chance of winning tradable funds, right? So a great way to learn the exchange. Definitely check it out if you haven't. And let's take a look at we're going to go into the daily first, then we'll come down to the 4-hour. So on the daily here, you guys know I have this target down here around 28,500-ish. We'll take a look at that in the 4-hour though. So let's take a look at the bullish case scenario. I know a lot of people are extremely bullish. They think that the bottom is in. I do not. But let's take a look at a bullish case here. If we look at this white dotted line off of these wicks here, to where we broke, looking at this as a falling wedge that we broke out of, that measured move. Now, this is the extreme bullish case. I personally don't think this is going to happen, but it is a possibility that I'm putting out there for you guys. 31.5. And that gets back up to this area here where we had all the support resistance and crazy trade action, right? So that is a possibility. But first, I would have to see a weekly open and close above that 25.8. And that's my weekly 55 EMA. We'll take a look at that in the weekly chart. But if we do get up here, that is a possibility to come hit this range before continuing down, which would be a extreme bull trap to wick above this. I doubt we would open and close a candle above that a weekly, but we'll see what happens. As you guys can see from my last video, we've been watching this trend line here. We can move this over just a bit. But right now, let's see where that lies. And right now, on today's daily, that lies around 22,772. We are playing on this trend line. We've opened and closed some dailies above. So technically, we're bullish unless we break back below this. Open and close dailies below. Then I see us going down to our 21.5. And after that, now what I don't think it's going to, I'm not saying it's going to drop straight down, although it could. What it would look like more so here would be something like this. Get a bounce at that 20.5 area, maybe come retest this, and then continue down here. If we break this 17.6 area, our next stop is going to be all the way down to this 13.5-ish area. And then our next stop after that is around the 7,900 if we follow this trend line, right? And this trend line goes back off of these wicks up here, right? So that's kind of what I'm looking at. It's nothing has changed in my whole thing, guys, since December 2nd, 2021. We've talked about this whole thing playing out, and I told you the 55 EMA on the weekly is what to watch for to break the trend. The trend is still down. I think the trend is going to continue down. Even if this was the bottom, right, and it already bottomed, and we do go up to here, you're still, even if you bought up in these areas, you're still doing way better off than them people that were dollar cost averaging, thinking the bottom was in on every little bounce. You know, if Bitcoin was truly going to 100,000, does it matter if you get in up here and be safe about it and wait for an actual macro confirmation of a reversal? No, that is how you do it, guys. It's not just guessing, right? You have validation and invalidation points, and I always show you guys mine. I always have, and here it is, that 25.8, guys, the 55 EMA right here. We get a weekly open and close. Now, I don't mean a wick above and come back down. A weekly open and close. Guys, one more time, before I forget, make sure you smash that thumbs up. Leave your comments down below. Anyways, I do think we are going to come back down here, guys. There's nothing has changed in my whole opinion here. Once this 14.9, well, this low, I had it coming to 14.9 for the bounce. We didn't quite make it there. We made it to what, 15.4 or something. But we got our bounce. Now I think next time we come down and retest this, break this, I'm looking for around 9,500, and that's just this measured move right here. And then probably bounce back up around in here, guys. We have all the way till September, October, as long as we don't break this, to hit our bottom. And I think it'll be around 35 to 4,500. I'm not changed my view on that at all, unless it's invalidated by my 55 EMA on the weekly, an open and close of a weekly. Then I will have to relook at the charts. Then I could say it's possibly bottomed. But until then, nothing, absolutely nothing has changed in these charts for me, guys. Nothing. And here is my Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart that I drew on December 2nd, 2021, well over a year ago. And everybody's thinking this is invalidated. It has not. We have not broken the 55 EMA. I think we still are just playing this out perfectly. If you look, every spike is not the exact same, right? You can see an Amazon here had this huge spike here. We got a big spike here in Bitcoin, but not huge, right? And I told you guys how the bear market would work. We would get a low. Everybody would be wishing they would have sold the top. Then you get a pump and everyone gets bullish and they are all happy. They buy more or they don't sell. And then you make a lower low. Then they wish they would have sold up here. So far, you know, all the way down. they just keep wishing they would have sold the last high. That's what I mean when you don't break the highs. We have not broken this high yet at the 25.3 range. We have not broken it. Even if we break it, get a wick up to that 25.8, come back down. I still think we're headed towards September, October bottom for Bitcoin. I'll let you guys know if anything changes. One other thing we did talk about was breaking this and this being a false bottom when we broke the weekly. And I said everyone would get extremely bullish there, which we did. So was this the false bottom? Possibly. Either way, we see a lower low, but we've always talked about buying in down here anyways, catching it, you know, this big bounce here, which would be sometime from April to June. Be a good time to get in somewhere around March or April after this bottom. And then, you know, be careful. That could be the bottom, but if not, make sure you get your stops in for this opportunity of a lifetime down here. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. Don't forget, smash the likes, leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel for daily updates. As you guys know, I'm building the house, so my videos are kind of, you know, not the same time every day and not every day. I got a lot going on. I'm trying to get out as many videos as I can for you guys, though, to keep you updated on my thoughts. Since Monday, nothing's really happened. We did expect a drop, which we got. Now we're just kind of teetering at the 23 range. So anyways, thanks again, guys. Don't forget, check out the videos above, the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart that I made on December 2nd, 2021. And I talked about the great crypto washout, which I think is still in the process of happening. So be careful with that. Also, the Prime XBT tutorial, check them out. I'm out, guys.